Welcome back, everyone. This is our third video on the demonstrating of the RAID boss. The RAID boss is the AI command center that transforms scattered risks, stalled decisions, and forgotten dependencies into proactive project intelligence. As a senior PM with over 15 years of project management experience, I built this tool because I was tired of watching critical issues slip through the cracks. So, yesterday's demonstration, we went through the project creation process. At the very end of that video, I mentioned that the overnight AI job would automatically run and assign out those rate entries that were created by AI and assign appropriate due dates to those. I did forget to mention that a key thing to do is to make sure we assign the team members to the project. So what I did was I went ahead and added those team members yesterday before that nightly job would kick off so that I can demonstrate today how AI automatically assigned those RAID entries and who they assigned them to. So let's go ahead and look at how that is done. So project settings, click on that in the left navigation. And if you scroll down, you'll see the project that we were using yesterday is at the very top, Procure AI. So if we expand that, all this information is still here. All the information that we created during that kickoff, you can edit it. We don't need to at the moment, so we can leave that alone. So this is where I was mentioning it's very important to assign team members. You'll see this top button right here, Manage Roles. These are the roles that I defined during that project creation. So I manually entered those roles here. You can add additional ones. There's probably 4 or 5 key roles that are automatically created and automatically available upon creation of a project. Again, you can customize that, delete any as you see fit for that given project. So I assign myself as a project manager, and then we have Timothy Jones as the lead data scientist, and we have other team members here. So you'll see here in just a second, when I go to the morning briefing, you'll see that these were where all the entries that were created were assigned appropriately to these individuals. So let's go ahead and get out of this. And we'll go over to the morning briefing. So the morning briefing page, this was the nightly job that ran. It has now 5 new alerts that came through, and these are all going to stay here for 24 hours. So every 24 hours, you'll see this updated. Right now, there's no drafts ready to send. There's draft emails to remind individuals of their assigned items. It'll have a link to the appropriate rate entry, and it'll have detailed information about why it's being escalated and what they need to do. You'll see here that these items, as I mentioned, were automatically assigned to the appropriate team member. So Cynthia Cantu, who was the front-end engineer, she was auto-assigned this role. And you'll see it explains here why this individual was automatically assigned that specific RAID entry. And you can click on this, and it'll bring up the window that shows all the details behind it. And you can update it. You can change the severity of it. You can change, the type and adding additional information, along with adding notes. You can add additional notes. So you'll see here that there are 0 risks auto-analyzed. So what that means is at the time that this job ran last night, there were no critical or high priority risks that have not been analyzed that needed to be analyzed. So I actually moved one of those risks into high priority status. And you'll see that in tomorrow's results after tonight's job runs, you'll see that it's going to automatically go through and analyze and provide additional information for this risk. So what we'll do now here is we'll go into this RAID log. As I mentioned, we'll go through some additional features and functionalities of the RAID boss and how AI is utilized. So let me go ahead and sort this by risks. You'll see here that this risk was already analyzed, and it came back with 5 linked entries that we had created. Well, let's do another one. So if I click on this, so this is actually going to analyze this specific risk item and suggest any additional raids that could need to be created and tracked for the project. So this is a medium priority item. Let's go ahead and analyze this. We're going to leave that high priority item out there so that AI actually runs overnight and does that one automatically. So you'll see that that one's going to be done tomorrow. But this can be also done manually. So this is a quick analysis. You can copy and paste this information for the impact analysis, what immediate action is needed, what strategic mitigation is needed, and then also the contingency plan. So this is a great representation of how AI can be utilized within the RAID boss. So let's go ahead and create these new RAID entries. Only takes a second, and it'll populate the RAID log with those additional items. Should be just a second. Again, there we go. So these 5 RAID entries have been created. And you'll see here, these are the ones that were created. It has a link right to them. So within the RAID log, you can sort by severity. You can easily change the status. You can easily change the owner. Currently, these 5 is unassigned. But again, this nightly job will pick these up. Primarily, it's going to look for any critical and high priority items first. So these 2, this action A005 and dependency DEP004, should have automatic assigned team members tomorrow. So another AI feature within the RAID boss is creating manual RAID entries. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in here and we're going to create a RAID entry by just specifically typing in information. I'm not going to type it. I'm going to actually copy and paste. So with this, you do not need to understand if this is a risk or if it's an action. AI is going to pick it up automatically. It's going to also determine the severity of it automatically. So we'll go ahead and do this. So this is parsing this information and it's going to pop up. Here we go. So this automatically thinks it's a risk, thinks it's a high severity item, automatically comes up with the probability and impact down here, and also an impact, our mitigation strategy. So this is already automatically done. So let's go ahead and create this entry. And it's going to populate and put it into the RAID log. Also assign the owner. So again, this is automatic. Also has suggestions for 3 mitigation actions based off of that. And also assignees here. So again, this is coming up with due dates, with assignees, severity, and any mitigations based off of that specific risk entry. So let's go ahead and add all of these. So we just ran through this and there's probably 8 or more RAID entries that were automatically created without having to manually type each and every one, understand who they need to be assigned to, go in and determine a due date, and so forth. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a RAID entry by using the microphone. So AI is going to create a RAID entry based off of what I say. Again, it's going to automatically determine what type of RAID entry it should be, who it should be assigned to, and also the severity. So let me go ahead and start this. Define data schema for weather feeds. The lead data scientist must finalize the mapping for weather variables to match the historical backtesting features. So you'll see there it's transcribing. It automatically typed in exactly what was needed. And if I add this, it's going to parse and create that specific item. It knew there was a lead data scientist. It knew Timothy Jones was a team member assigned to that project. It automatically knew it was an action and it put it as a medium severity. So I'm going to create this, finalize the mapping for weather. So let's remember that. So if we go in here to the Kanban board, you'll see here all of these actions are available. So that action that I just created is right here, A-012. This is the complete the data schema mapping. I'm on the Kanban board, so I can actually move this over. This is the lead data scientist. So I'm currently logged in as Ben Smith. However, the lead data scientist, upon his login or during any meetings, can automatically move this over to a different status. So looking at the RAID log, you can see there's 23 RAID entries. These are all open. So this eliminates the need for manual entries to be done by the project manager. So today's focus again was on understanding how to assign team members to a given project so that the overnight job can run and properly populate and assign owners as well as determine due dates for those specific items. We went over the AI assistant button here and how you can click on any of these prompts to get more information. We also went over how the AI Analyze button creates additional rate entries based on a specific item. We also went over how to create manual rate entries by typing in information here. We also went over how to use the microphone, and AI will transcribe what you say and prompt to create additional RAID entries. Tomorrow's video will go over how to use the ingest button and how AI actually takes email threads and meeting transcripts to create RAID entries. And we'll also look at the morning briefing to see what else came through in the overnight jobs. That's it for today. Thank you all for your time.